are, Aspen Power Catamaran headquarters. Looks absolutely beautiful with the fall colors.
Hey Amanda!
Hey Larry, nice to see you!
See you again. Welcome to a little damp day in Washington.
All right, here we are.
Do a little tour here.
All right, let's do it. I'm ready.
Good. So you haven't been to the factory before, and so what I thought we'd do is just kind of give you a quick tour of the facility and let you meet some of the guys and kind of show you how we build the boats. Yeah. And I think it'll be real informative. So.
I would love that.
Yeah, good. So lobby area here, this was just set up as a way to kind of show the different things that our customers do with the boats. There's trips up to the Broughton Islands here with the waterfalls and around the San Juan Islands and just all the fun things that you do with a boat because we're selling fun.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, this picture was just a nod to the kind of the history of boat building in the Northwest. This is about 1937 down in Gig Harbor, and they're building one of the first ferry boats in the state of Washington here. It's kind of funny. You can see the guys sitting on the wood dock there, and wood piles and the old cars in the background. But even these original fishing boats that were done in the Northwest, that hull shape was something developed here. And with fairly small motors, they could go fairly quick, carry a large load. And even back then, they were doing innovation in the marine industry in the Northwest. And we're kind of continuing that with Aspen here. But this is kind of a fun thing to see. This is a cross-section of hull here. And when we get over to lamination, we'll show you more of this. But basically, you've got all the layers of mat and roving that go clear through the bottom. And then there's a tracking pad on the bottom. And then these are layers of cross-linked PVC foam that are then glassed in. And this gives us a double bottom effect. It also makes it super strong. And then the bulkheads in the boat are all done with Pusa composite too. So there's no wood in the hulls of an Aspen. And all this is done with the highest quality resins you can do, really high quality gel coats, and extremely high quality laminating resins too. So the very best you can buy.
Very cool.
Yeah. This area over here is just kind of an office area and kind of the hub of the factory, if you will. Purchasing and office managers and things like that. We've got Dave back here on the phone with purchasing. Brian's out back. Dave's at it. He gets to buy hundreds of thousands of dollars of parts every day or every month. So this is Fran, our office manager here. Everybody's wearing their masks today, so we're official. And we're safe, All right. Let's go through here and just kind of show you the factory. All right, guys, so we're on lunch break here. So now we've got some space. We've turned off the fans. We can hear a little bit better, Amanda. And so we're just going to give you a really good, quick tour of the assembly building. We'll kind of walk through that, okay?
Sounds great.
Good. So this building is about 14,000 square feet. We got here about 5 years ago. And prior to that, we used to share space with Nordic Tugs, and they were great partners, really good guys. This area is our receiving area. And basically, all the parts come in, and each boat has its own rolling shelf, its own little rolling warehouse. You can see the names here. They're associated. This is the kit for the Henderson boat that's coming along, and this is the kit for Maloney, which is one of the C100s coming along too. These are engines for the next C108 that's in line, and this is upholstery here for the next boat too. Some of the fun things we do with upholstery, this is all done with that ultra leather material. But these beds, remember we talked about them yesterday, the bottom part of it is the first 3/4 of an inch is closed cell foam. The next 3 inches is a mattress quality foam. And then the next 2 inches is a softer foam. So this is how we get those really comfortable beds without having a lot of thickness, which kind of messes with the headroom inside. So really high end. If you were to take the covers off and look at all the seams, they're all really tight and straight. All double stitched, really, really nice. So these are some of the teak pieces and cabinets that have been done in our teak shop that's about 8 miles north. I don't think we'll have time to get up there today. See how the edges are all finished, all real nice hardware. Everywhere is finished. Even the top of it, where there's going to be a Corian piece go on top of this, is finished and sealed off with resin too. You want to do that because in a boat where you've got a lot of moisture in the marine environment, if you don't have it sealed, it'll damage things as things it just gets old quick, and you don't want that.
Right.
Nice. I want to introduce you guys. Amanda, this is Brian. He's our senior production manager, operations manager. Jose is kind of a fine boat builder guy. He can basically build decks and lots of different things. Bill here is our receiving materials warehouse guy.
Hello. So, nice to meet you guys.
Yeah. Got your Aspen shirts on today. Good. You know, over there, Brian? Oh, he's got one.
There. I'm there. I'm just a little chill.
It's real cool. Yeah.
It's the Northwest.
I agree.
That's it. So Brian's got the job of kind of organizing this whole event. And you know, with, I don't know, 40 guys in the factory and, you know.
It's herding cats.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's quite a project.
But you do it well, I'm sure. I can see.
We make a good product.
With the quality of your product, yeah.
That's it. Good.
It's a good thing. These guys are a good group of guys. They work hard, they're dedicated, they're loyal. They're in here trying to make a difference and make a positive impact. Do a lot of innovative stuff and bring good ideas all the time.
Super high quality.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Good.
Thanks, guys. Let's go this way. Catamarans. This is Amanda. She's doing a tour with us today. But Catamarans been with us for 5-6 years now.
6 years.
He's like when you see the interior of the boat, he's the guy that leads the team that puts all those beautiful teak interiors in.
Ooh,
and
nice.
you know, he's been doing teak and wood for how many years now? 30 some years. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
But when you look at that, see all those pieces fit together and looking just beautiful? This is the guy that makes sure that happens every time.
Thank you for that.
Thanks, Valvar. This is an area where we build all the panels for the boat. And we can come back to this later, but Andy and Tim. Andy's kind of decking, rigging, and today you're doing what?
Today I'm putting a line over the backup camera.
Catamarans. Good.
Oh, that was very helpful yesterday.
We used it. We were down in Portland. Tim does an amazing array of things. He's sort of open hull and engine installation and shafts and rudders. And what are you doing today? You're cameraing too?
Well, I'm showing him the camera, finishing up the port head. Probably going to be putting in fuses and powering up the boat today.
Oh, that's great. Getting the power on in the boat is always fun.
Very fun.
So,
Wow.
Yeah, both guys have been in the industry for a long time. I mean, 15, 20 years?
15, 20 years.
Yeah, it's good. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Okay, good. James, how are you today?
Fantastic. How you doing?
Good. Doing a tour with Amanda here.
Hi, Amanda.
So James is one of our, pro boat builders, and you've been at it for a long time too.
20 years.
20 years, yeah. But James is a great guy. He can wire, he can install components. I don't know, what are you building today?
Today I'm working on the main computer system, the brain, on
Okay.
the bottom.
Uh-huh.
Finished up on that, putting in the barnacle system, which runs the cameras.
Oh, cool.
The,
Cool.
bilge pumps. And
So the barnacle is that new security system that keeps track of your voltage, your bilge pumps, and even has motion sensors and all that.
and we've got a couple.
And a lot of that is super close. Yeah, hardwired stuff. And how's it been so far?
It's going fantastic.
Good.
First one I'm doing here on this boat, so it's going well.
Good. All right. Thanks,
Awesome.
James.
Thanks.
Here we've got the second 108 coming along. And you can see how smooth and straight the gunneling is put on.
Yeah.
The stripes that are in the gel coat are actually in the gel coat. It's not a vinyl ester or a vinyl type stripe,
That's
so
nice.
it won't
It won't
wear
wear.
off like a lot of boats do.
Yeah.
You can see we've already got the bottom paint on. This is kind of a good shot here where you can see the shape of the hull from the bow, and how one side is a little bit flatter than the other, and there's a little curve here. That's what gives us the correction for the smaller hull versus the larger hull. And you noticed when we were out yesterday, it tracked just straight arrow.
Yep.
A lot of that's in our details and how the hulls are done. So this is just set up as a kind of a wave breaker here in the center of the hull. And if you look farther down, you can see there's a lot of detail that goes on in the center of the hull here. We have patents on our hulls and all the details. But basically, the goal was a soft riding boat that tracked really well, and it did that at all speeds. Some boats track real terrible at like 6 or 8 knots, and I didn't like that. And I also don't like boats, some of the catamarans at low speeds thump and bang. We don't like that either. So we wanted a boat that could run at 8 knots comfortable or run it at 20 knots comfortably.
Yesterday was surely comfortable.
Yeah, it's good. Let's go through here and just kind of take a peek and see what we see. These are a wire harness kit that's coming together. And these are all wires that are tinned marine wire. And you can see this one's got a sticker on it that says engine. You can see everything is swedged. All these components are made in the USA, and the wire's made in the USA too. So we're kind of big on things that really last. And our customers are busy people. They don't have time for things that are broken all the time. They don't want to see their mechanic. They want to go play with their boat. And so we try really hard to buy the very best of everything. So let's walk up here and kind of go through and show you what we got in here. This is a really neat stage where side by side you get to see an open hull that's coming together and a boat that's about 2/3 of the way built. And there's so much to see. Let's go into the open hull and kind of walk through that real quick. The first thing to kind of show you that very few guys do, you see the PVC pipes here?
Yeah.
Those are set in so that we can run mostly wiring, but even some of our plumbing is in a PVC pipe.
Wow.
The beautiful thing of that is that if you have to service it and you need to replace those throttle cables.
Oh, so nice.
Versus having them just buried in the boat where you can't get to them.
No, that makes a nice. I've fished through a lot of wire, and it'll make it really nice.
Yeah. So with some of these tubes, we don't even put anything in. We put a pull string in for the customer. So for future options, you can do that.
That's so great.
Yeah. And you can see other things. Look at all the structure and all the beams in here. Look at a huge beam and bulkhead up forward. But you see every 30 or 40 inches, there's a bulkhead that's laminated in. Mm-hmm. And that's tied in. The top edge of all of these are radius, so the glass can come down, over, and back down. So it's really tied together. All these bulkheads are done with Coosa composite. It's a synthetic board material that's got glass fibers in it. A lot like plywood, but about half the weight, can never rot. So this hull should last more than 100 years. It's kind of busy in here today. There's a whole team of guys working. You can see we use PEX PVC tubing. The through hulls, while on the outside they're stainless steel with a 316 stainless cap on them, they're actually glass-filled nylon. So again, the through hulls would last at least 100 years, I think. The fuel tanks here you got a bilge pump area, and wiring is starting to go in. Do you see how the wiring is in a loom for protection?
Yes.
And if you look at the corners where it goes through bulkheads and stuff, we'll find some of them. You can see where it's got chafe protection. Take a peek. See how they put the chafe protection right there by the fuel tank?
Yeah.
And bilge pump pieces are in place. You can see the ground wires coming up to hook into the fuel tank. The fuel tanks are made in Florida by Florida Marine Tanks, and they're actually urethane coated too, so they won't corrode. Mm-hmm. And if you look closely, look what we got here. They're actually up on, see the rubber strip here? Mm-hmm. So you've got the rubber strip, but that's also what it's sitting on underneath. And it's through bolted to the bulkhead. A lot of the guys, they would only have one tab and they'd probably screw it on. We actually have 4 tabs and we through bolt it.
Wow.
So completely different than what most companies would do. This is a Wema sender. It's a stainless steel shaft with a little float on it. Very reliable. Mm-hmm. Some of the guys will use automotive type senders that are about $8. This is about a $40 sender. You can see all the fittings are all welded through. Here we're starting to put in a water tank. Notice how everything is double hose clamped and all sealed with a good urethane adhesive. And look at how the PVC tubes are strapped every 12 inches all the way along. Look at the chafe protection in the corner there, the waterproof plugs for the wire harness. So many details. And every one of these connectors in the boat here, I'll jump in here, these are all marine grade connectors. And you see they're the heat shrink type.
Yeah.
So when you heat it up, it actually oozes the adhesive out. Made in the United States, they're about $1 a piece. You can buy connectors for 2 or 3 cents that look similar.
And all mariners know the quality of those.
Yeah, yeah, they don't lie. It's a goofy concept. Hose is made by Trident, also in the United States. There's a fuel tank underneath here. This is a bed area on the C-108. And these are mock-ups. This is kind of fun. We were in here this morning before you got here, kind of laying out. This is a customer that wants a new lithium-ion battery bank instead of lead-acid batteries. And these are mock-ups of what that battery looks like. And that's a 500 amp hour battery. And then this is its charger. We were kind of mocking up how that would fit in there. It's kind of how we would typically do it. Get the drawings and then lay it out and really see it in real life to see if it's going to be
how it's going to fit,
how it's going to work.
Yeah.
Here you can see the up loops for the bilge pumps, which again is real important. Notice the double hose clamps. You see the foil piece along the side of the hull?
Yeah.
That's actually that sound deadening that they use in cars for the guys that have the big stereo systems. That goes in right at the water line, right at the chine, and it makes it amazingly quieter to do that. And that's standard in our boats at this point. And, the boats got so quiet with the engines, all we could hear was spray on the hull. And I thought, well, I wonder if I can make that even go away. So that's what we did with the sound deadening on those chine areas. Look at this big shelf here. So for an owner, when the boat's finished, this is going to turn out as a shelf. But for us, or for me, from an engineering viewpoint, this is a beam. And it ties into a bulkhead and runs all the way along. And this is something a lot of guys don't do. But, you don't want to try to make it stiff up here at the gunnel. You need it stiff where the load is at when the wave is pushing on the hull.
Right.
So do things like that. There's a bulkhead that goes in here yet that ties in. You can see how all the wires are chafe protected and strapped in nice. Look at how this is done.
Now, I noticed this big bundle over here. This is where the connection points will...
For the dash.
For the dash, yeah.
So all your DC and AC panels will come up at that point. Look at the size of this bulkhead here. I mean, with a catamaran, you have 2 different hulls, and you need to have some structure between them.
Right.
And we do a lot of structure and beams and bulkheads, but the first bulkhead is probably the one that works the hardest. It's also the one that's the tallest. And that keeps everything from moving. This is a real nice bookshelf in here. Here you can see the thruster coming together. And again, you never see this at a boat show, but look at how we've actually added sound deadening around where the thruster's at.
Do you want to show that?
So that it's quiet, There we go. You see the sound deadening there? Kind of nice. It's a little detail, but when you turn your thruster on, you really don't want it, making a lot of racket and sounding cheap. It really makes it smooth and much, much quieter. So many, many details with an Aspen. Here you can see the guys have put on the protective paper because they, once they make it nice, they don't want to, damage it. Shift throttle cables. Those are Teleflex Supremes, the best money can buy. So many components are the very best. Look at the water tank here. It's cleated in place with the aluminum, anodized aluminum, but then it's got a bracket that goes up and over and down. Right. You don't want that moving around when you're out.
You don't.
So here's our waste tank here on the port side. This tank here is for a diesel furnace. Okay. Some of the boats will get a propane furnace. Others are going to be out in cold weather longer, and they wanted a little bit more tank capacity. So we gave them a 2.5 gallon diesel furnace tank. There's a refrigerator that fits in here. There's a sink there. That all kind of shows in the finished boat. Down here is just a great big storage area. And again, the protective paper's in, but you can see the house battery and the stern thruster battery and then the hot water heater there. But look at how much open space here.
Yeah, it really is a big storage area for dive equipment or anything else.
Yeah, we've got a customer that's going to put a portable air compressor in
there. Yeah.
In fact, that boat gets it. If we walk through here, this is that portside quarter berth. And look at how the guys have started to put in the beautiful interior components. This is the Solar Bruce 2000 right there. And This turns out to be a real nice berth. It's about 33 inches wide and 6'4" long. And what's nice is that the new one has a footwell here, which you get with the 108. Here's the salon coming together. Kind of fun things to see. You can see that there's, wires running around in here. There's stiffening in for the hatches. You see the troughs that are molded right in so that we can run wires and do that real nicely. Here you can see some of the laminate where even on an interior component, we've taken the time to do a core mat layer and a Divinycil layer. So this is super strong, but very light too. And that's kind of our theme throughout, strong and light. This is a teak cabinet that's coming together. There'll be a huge drawer in here. There's a furnace behind the drawer here. So if you want to work on the furnace, you just pull the drawer out, pull 2 tabs, and you have beautiful access to your furnace. I hate things you can't get to.
Yeah, I noticed that you were kind to all the boaters working on their boats.
That's it. Here's a dash that's starting to come together, and just components. It's a great stage to peek at because you won't see most of this once the boat's finished. We come down here. There's that thruster we looked at. Oh, this is a good stop. Take a scan into that because that'll all get covered up. Behind the dash, look at how the wiring is starting to come together here.
Wow.
And all the surfaces that it's mounted to are sanded and smooth and then base coated. The fuses are over there on the far side. The full boat ACI thing is there. And look at how they've got the wires just tight and beautifully done. All really top end. Here's
really
that
nice
bulkhead I was telling you about in the other boat that comes in. And you see how it's glass to the hull?
Yes.
Most companies will try to glue and screw a bulkhead like that in. And that's not the way to go. It's going to squeak and stuff like that. If you laminate it in, it's permanent, it's nice, it's what you want, and super strong. Here we're in the bathroom on the new 108. And there's a bunch of cabinetry to come in here, but it's good to see at this stage. There's a skylight that'll come in right up above here. And this is a little recess for a storage tray up above. This is a little pad that's laminated in so that when you screw the light on, it actually stays there. Seems obvious, but a lot of companies will try to screw lights to little trim panels, and if you don't have anything to actually fasten it to, it wouldn't work.
Right. So true.
Good. Let's move through. And we got lots to show you. We're only at lunch for a few minutes, so.
We better get moving.
Yeah. This just shows you how it kind of goes from that rough stage to a finished boat pretty quickly.
Yeah. Looks great.
Yeah. Well, and feel how solid the rails are. I mean, it is good stuff. An average boater will occasionally tie things to that,
Yes. Not occasionally. Often.
That's it. Here is a 40 that's about 80% done at this point. Again, you saw those carts that had the parts on them. The carts are getting empty. There's not much left to go on it. And again, it looks a little ragged because we have this protective paper everywhere. But, the davit is on, the storage bustle is all rigged up, and the winches for that are done. The flybridge rails are on. It's really coming together at this point. So it's coming together. There's some of that wiring that we saw the other day, and kind of that open hull stage, if you will.
But also you can start seeing the finishing touches come together as well.
Right. Oh, hey, there's one area I want to show you that's really beautiful. The area behind the dash, we call it the brain.
Yes.
And that is back here. I want to show you that. Here's another one of those shelves that we laminate in. It's super strong, stiffens the boat right in that area. And look at all these bulkheads. Look at how thick the bulkheads and stuff are. Really, really strong. Man, to take a peek at this wiring here. How do you find wiring like that?
Only on an Aspen.
This team really cares. They just do the best work. Every wire is labeled on both ends with what it does. Just very, very proud, high quality work is kind of our game. If you were to look above here, I don't know if it's going to come out on the camera, but this panel covers up where the wiper motors mount. But what's in there is a big sweeping beam that holds the deck stiff in that area, and then off of it is another beam behind that panel there. So when you're walking on the deck up above, it's solid. A lot of boats, they get really springy and cheesy, and Our customers want their boats to feel solid, and that's just the way it should be.
And when I look at attention to detail here, just the fit and finish of all of this work here, you know, not one wrinkle, not one seam out of place. It really is really amazing.
To get it this smooth, we actually, before we can put the vinyl on, we actually go in and sand the surface and then trowel a filling material through, sand that again, and then we can put the vinyl on to get this kind of finish. So
yeah,
a lot of detail. But again, it's going to be, you want to make a customer happy for years and years. All this is that Burmese teak again, all finished with baked on, 2-component urethane finishes. A lot of guys will try to just oil the teak. It's not bad, but it's something. It's a lot of work. Have you ever had to sit and oil a whole boat's teak?
Yeah, I have.
And
it takes a day and a half.
Yeah, it's a day and a half, and you have this terrible teak oil all over the place, and that'll
it's on
stain
your clothes,
the vinyl.
exactly.
Yeah, and it's actually, the rags are flammable. It's a real not ideal kind of thing. So by spending a little more time, a little more money with the conversion coat finish, it just lasts forever. This is fun too. A lot of people miss that there's actually a storage area behind there, and often a TV there.
Yeah, I was going to say, wasn't there a TV there on one of them?
There's a TV on that end on some, and most of the time it's up here. This is a big storage area that also gets missed because usually there's pillows and stuff on it.
Yeah.
So good to see that at this stage of the build. And I don't know if it'll come out on the camera, but look at how these fit. You couldn't put a piece of paper. I mean, it's just within microns the way this wood fits.
Yeah.
Really nice. Just a first-class team. Here's a hanging locker. The light's not going to come on yet, but there's another hanging locker on the starboard side too. But yeah, let's move along. So up here we're at the dash, and this is more of the standard dash where you get the T components up above. Stephen, one of our owners that we visited yesterday, he had us do teak all along the lower section too, which is an option.
That looks really nice.
Yeah. Here's that microwave cabinet. Oh, this is a good area to see. We missed it yesterday. This is the starboard companionway, and it has the inverter charger in it for the house battery bank. And the house batteries are underneath the floor in the forward starboard stateroom, but you can see the sides of the cables and the way everything's running there, all really nicely done too. This is also an area when we do a heat, we put one of the Wallace diesel heaters in there too.
Nice.
All right, and if we go down here, this is a great space here, and I may have to grab the camera to show you. But I want to show down in this compartment all the wiring. I think it's about done. Let me see how far they are. You know, it's not done yet.
Not done?
Not done.
Okay.
It's a wonderful space to take a peek at because, again, there's, the exhaust is in there, the house and the generator batteries are in there, and the wiring and cables are just beautifully done. Yeah, so all in protective paper right now. But again, you don't want to have to repair things. It's much better to just protect it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, let's go up and out. I think that's about what we need to show here. Here you can see how deep the drawers are, actually.
Yeah.
Pretty good. So what we're doing, Amanda, is... You know how, these are bronze props and bronze rudders, but in a warm saltwater environment, they still want to grow stuff on them.
Yes, they do.
So we actually do a primer coat, and then we coat all these metal parts right at the factory with a Petit hydro coat, which is a non-copper bottom paint. And so we're able to keep things from growing on these. It's a biocide, basically.
Okay.
And we find it lasts longer than like prop gold or something like that. You get like 3 to 6 months out of prop gold. This stuff it may fleck a little bit in the first 2 or 3 months, but it'll often get you 10 or 12 months without having to fiddle with the surfaces.
That's awesome.
Here's the shaft for a 40. That's a 2-inch diameter shaft. The engineering books would say that you could do it at 1.5 inches, but if you do the thinner diameter shaft, what'll happen, because it works in a pocket, the upper part of the the upper part of the prop pulls a little harder than the lower part, and so every time it rotates, puts a little stress on it. And the smaller shaft will crack, you know, maybe only 10 years down the road. But I didn't want to have that. I mean,
No
you know,
cracking.
a lot of the older Bayliners and stuff, they have the smaller shafts.
Yeah.
And when the prop cracks, shaft cracks, then the prop falls off. So
That's not a good thing.
it's kind of hard to go boating with no prop.
Yes.
So little details, if you look at this, this is the leading edge of the rudder. Notice how it's a full radius. If it comes to us as a square edge, which is how they ship them to everybody else, we radius it because if you have a square edge and then you turn quickly, it pulls an air bubble on one side. The boat wants to jump one way or the other. Just by having
little
a radius
details.
on it, a little bit like an airplane wing again. Notice we radius the leading edge here too. Again, that comes as a square edge, but that's not what you want for efficiency. Look at the size of that, another 2-inch shaft for your rudder. And then when this is in the boat, there's a sandbar that ties in underneath it so that if you drive over a crab pot or something, it doesn't even get in the prop.
That's nice.
Really nice. Here's a deck that just came over, and this is the new C108. And again, trying to be efficient, the guys have just made a splash for the cutouts and the holes that are going to go in this area of the boat. And that is a part of being smart. And if you're going to build in the United States with American labor, you've got to be very efficient with how you do it. This is good to see, though. This is right out of the mold. Our molds are just incredible. This is that armor coat gel coat again. But look at how the non-skid's molded right in. All the little recesses are molded in. I mean, all the steps in detail. If you were to go to Asia and look at how they build boats, they'll literally sometimes put the non-skid on afterwards.
Wow.
Really kind of cheesy. Ours is all molded in, and we'll spray all the gel coat on so it's a consistent thickness. You get much better quality that way. And then we use the proper guns to wet out. Let's tuck underneath and show you some other things here. This is a wonderful stage to peek at this. Look at here. This is a backing plate for a cleat. And that's 3/4 of an inch thick going on a glass that's 1/4 inch thick, and it's overwrapped with glass again. So it's over an inch thick where the cleats mount. And we do the same thing for everywhere the rails mount. Here you can see, remember I was saying when we're going to do vinyl wrapping? This is the basic laminate. And if you did that, you'd get a little bit of a lumpy surface. We go in and trowel it with a finished material. And then that gives us the smooth
That
surface.
smooth surface for the
that
actual
yacht,
vinyl.
That yacht finish. That's
Yep.
kind of what we want. These are mullions here, the big beams and stuff here. Those are all Coosa composites. So that's a layer that carries load. So we use a stronger Coosa material there. Same thing here, where your beam support the windows. Also over an inch thick here. Lots of details.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. Here's the back deck. All the gutters are molded in. The guys have done the cutouts. They have patterns for that, so they can move quickly through this. And then we will build quite a bit of this right on the floor. All the windows will go in, all of the cleats and rails, and all the vinyl. The hardtop will go on. So we try to be wherever it's the most efficient to build it is where we want to build it. Too. Again, they're working on a splash, so this is going to be easy to do in the future. And they'll cut those out, and then they'll pop that off. And then they can, next time they build a boat, they just drop the splash in place, and they can duplicate that exactly the same every time. Here's a good thing to peek at, the edge thickness of the components. So you can see we've got a honeycomb effect here, a layer of the armor coat, gel coat, another layer of glass. But this whole part, the whole thing you see, probably only weighs about 350 pounds. Look at the beautiful craftsmanship here, all the way through. What Bob's working on over here are the fillers for the table, or for the sink. So these are going to be when you don't want to have the sink.
Yep.
So Amanda, what this is our weld shop. And so we build all these bits and fixtures in-house. And I'm going to pull this down so you can hear a little better. And so we can cut and weld about any kind of metal you want. We've got TIG machines and MIG machines and gas welders and all sorts of things. What Jeff's working on here is this is a new cart for, it's one of the hardtop carts, or a flybridge cart for the 40. And he's doing some adjustments there. And Jeff's with our service department, and Jeff can Jeff can build about anything, and today he's playing a welder and a...
Playing welder today.
Yeah, and but he also takes care of the boats after the sale for the guys in the Northwest. So he's doing oil changes and water pumps and all kinds of things like that. So, and you've been in the marine industry, you know,
14, 15 years now?
yeah, quite a while. So great experience. We've got an amazing, talented team here. So good.
Nice to
Thanks,
meet you, Jeff.
Okay.
Hi, Jerry.
This is Amanda. She's doing a tour today and getting a feel for what Aspen's like. Amanda, Jerry's one of these guys that is just a wizard with fiberglass. And today he's doing some tooling for a new seat on the front of the boat. Normally there's a cushion here and you just get a nice cushion to sit on. But these owners, and it's kind of one of the custom things we can do, they wanted a seat and then they wanted a backrest too. And then they want it so it folds down, and they have young daughters, and they want to be able to have a big sun pad up here. So
Nice.
we came up with a new design that gets us a platform here for a little higher seat, a nice backrest, and it does all those things for the customer.
Yeah,
So,
it's an after it's being worked up. I'm just kind of cleaning up the resin.
oh, right, okay.
Yeah, where we kind of.
So we made a mold in here, so
Yeah.
Jerry's got to make it look ship shape when we're done.
Awesome.
Nothing happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But Jerry's been doing fiberglass for, I don't know, how many years now?
I was back in 2008.
2008.
Started
so-
with different coal companies. But
Yeah, about 12 years of fiberglass, but he can take and build a mold and just amazing detail with any part of the fiberglass work. So,
That's great.
thank you, Jerry. Yeah, over again. Amanda, this is Bob Burns, and Bob's been with the company for
A little over 5 years.
5 years now, and super talented boat builder. What I love about Bob is Bob can basically, you can dream it, he can build it. And he'll do tooling work for you. He'll wire something if you have to. Today, he's doing a beautiful core end countertop. And, oh no, it's rails.
I had a little repair job that's a little bit lost on it.
Yeah.
I came up here and fixed it.
Oh, good.
Now you can't see it.
Perfect. That's it. Craftsman.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, yeah. No, Bob's a wonderful, wonderful employee. He's just first class. Good. All right. Who's down here now? Oh, we got Tim. That's a great shot. I'm gonna get a shot of Tim. We'll interview him while he's right there.
Hey, Tim.
Hello.
What are you doing fitting in there?
Well, I'm just putting in the sink and the faucet, getting it all sealed in and tightened up, hooked up, ready to go.
That's
Tim's
great.
another one of these guys that can just about do anything in a boat. He's also been in the industry for a long time, and he does the engines and just all kinds of fun stuff. All right, let's go see who's here. Anybody else? Oh, we got more here. You got Rob? It's good. Hey, Amanda, this is Rob. He's
Hey, Rob.
he's on the bed today.
yeah, I am on the bed today.
But Rob's the guy that builds out this whole interior in the master stateroom on the 40. And he's made all these panels and, installed all the teak. And what do you build today?
I'm working on these doors right here, the close-out panels for the brand.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm working on right now.
Good, good.
I
Another.
put this French cleat up. Is what I just finished doing.
Oh, that's what locks it in when it goes up.
So yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Cool. What's that material there?
What's that?
Oh, this is
Mahogany.
mahogany. Okay. So that's a cleat, kind of
Yeah,
a cleat
it's like
stock
material. It's cleat stock.
Yeah. Good, good.
It's all painted up good,
Yeah.
clear coated.
That's one thing that he mentions is every piece of wood in an Aspen is sealed. It's always urethane sealed, so we don't use any raw wood anywhere. It's a different thing, and Rob's worked a lot of companies. A lot of guys don't do that,
Right.
you know. So, what's in the box here? This is all
Oh, it's just all
just different
my little
components.
doodads.
Okay.
Everything
Thanks for hanging wires
I
and
got
connectors.
electrical stuff in here.
Yeah,
I
it's
got
good.
Some of it. Got whatever I might need.
So that's smart.
Outside
You just,
of my job, even
Yeah.
I might have to cut some wires. I might have to hook some lights up.
you just never know.
You don't know.
Yeah. But you see, he comes with all the tools and all the fasteners he needs for his job. It seems obvious, but a lot of guys you'll have, they just don't come prepared. So he's ready to go when he gets into it. Yeah.
20 times to get screws.
Right. You want to stay on the boat.
Right.
20 different kinds of screws right here.
Yeah.
That's ready to go.
Yeah. Kind of fun to see.
It really is.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
You fit in there, Tim?
Yeah, it's a tight squeeze, but.
Good, thanks guys. Is Andre over there on the other side?
Yeah.
Oh, there's Andre. Andre, say hello. This is Amanda.
Hi, Andre.
She's doing a tour today. Yeah, Andre's again another guy been in the industry for a long time, and so he's working on. You see him on the top here, but he's actually putting a panel in that comes into the headliner of the Queen Berth there. And again, another just talented craftsman, and loves to get it just right, and it's got to look beautiful. Or, you know, he doesn't leave until it's done right.
It looks like he's doing a mighty fine job.
Thank you, Andre.
Yeah, no problem.
So Amanda, this is Rowena. She's a detail gal, and she does a bit of QC, fiberglass work. What are you doing today, Rowena?
Right here.
Oh, okay. Doing a little fiberglass tune-up.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yeah. It's done.
Good. It looks great. Rowena has an eye for detail that very few people do. She can see from 3 feet away a piece of fiberglass that's not just right.
That's not just right. You make it just right, right?
Yeah, and she knows how to make it just right. Yeah.
That's
Super good.
excellent.
And we lost Jason. He went lost without vote. Hopefully he'll come back. We'll go forward here and see who's in front. Oh, here's Tom.
Hi.
Hello,
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
This is Amanda. She's doing a tour today. We just thought we'd kind of walk through the boats and meet some of the guys.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. What you working on today?
I'm just doing some carpet. This is our 3rd day in here, starting the finish work, the finish process. So this is very early on the finish stage of the boat build.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Tom's been building boats for, well, you started, what, 6 years ago with me, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 years.
Yeah. Another just amazing craftsman. And Tom, if you go forward, I want to have, I think Josh is up there too, isn't he? Who's forward? I see another person. We got Josh.
Hello.
Hi, Josh.
How's it going?
It's going
What are you
great.
doing today, Josh?
You got
Just the radar and the doing some more wiring.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Were you doing a fine job? Did you do all of that right in there?
Yep.
Yep.
That's Josh. And Josh, you've done you've been in the Coast Guard, hadn't you?
Yeah, Coast Guard Reserves.
Yeah, yeah. So it's got some Marine background there, and starting to come up to speed on power pleasure boats.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little different. We have a lot more devices.
Yeah.
Once we had it was just basically a heater and some GPS. And
Right.
like that.
Okay.
It's a little bit more luxury.
That's good. It looks like you're in a spider web here with all these wires.
Yeah. Yeah, it's getting.
Working while talking. That's good.
That's
you
it.
want that.
That's good. One thing I want to show you, Amanda, that I forgot is you see the laminate in the corners here where the deck has come down, and that big bulkhead we showed you guys. Look at how it's lammed in all the way around. That again is very unusual in the industry, and that makes it just really super strong, and that's what you want. I mean, you get out and going out to the Bahamas or something, and you have to cross the
That Gulf Stream.
Gulf Stream. You need a boat that's tough.
That's
And
correct.
That's why
I've
this comes
experienced
through
that.
solid. Yeah. So Jason's our lead on this line, and he's got a lot of boat building experience in these 28 through 35 footers. About what, 6 years with the company?
Yeah,
or
March will be 7. Yeah.
7 years coming up. And what do you build today?
I'm just finishing out this room to get this ready so I can start building this salon. We're got a couple more panels to build and ready to roll.
Good.
So,
Looks beautiful, Jason.
yeah.
Just
Going along
fantastic.
Good. Going along
Good.
good.
Thank you.
How you doing?
Amanda, this is Pat. He's he actually worked with me back at Glacier Bay days, 15 years ago or so. And then he spent some time with Boeing, and now he's decided boat building is the thing, right? He's working on a water tank, and what else are you building back there? Oh, there's a gunnel back there. Yeah, that's a good point. There's an aluminum piece that goes in all the way around the backside of the gunnel, so that when we deck it, we have something actually to bolt to.
To bolt to, right?
Yeah. Again, very unusual in the industry. Thanks, Pat. So, Amanda, here we are outside. This is a 24-ton travel lift. So once we get the big boats done, we can pick them up and put them on the crane, on the trucks, and ship them across the country or wherever they've got to go. This is one of the float-on trailers. It's kind of an odd deal. We actually buy our aluminum trailers from Florida and ship them out here. Again, quote on Tim Popple and his team, they build the best trailers, so that's why we buy them, you know?
Yep.
And they take great care of us too. So this is a 6-year-old trailer here, still works great.
It's great.
Phenomenal. Like, you think about fiberglass, and I always say this, and Rick kind of doesn't like it, but the truth is, it's like a master chef.
Yeah.
You know, he used to have his white hat, and like a chef would have, and probably a bigger tummy. But with fiberglass, you've got a lot of factors. So you've got the quality of the materials that you use in the resin. You've got the temperatures that you're doing, again, like a chef. You've got the catalyst, and those would be like your seasonings. And then you got the basic bulk of what's going on, the fibers and the cores and things like that. So Rick's got to massage all those things to come out and get you those beautiful fiberglass parts. And,
Yeah.
you know, he's a wizard at
It
it.
shows. Definitely shows.
Yeah, catalyst is more like yeast.
Oh,
Yeah.
rises.
Oh,
I
that's a
see.
good point.
That's a better
Catalyst
analogy.
is more like yeast. Yeah, yeah.
If I'm gonna cook it, I'm gonna cook it right.
Ah. This is Jose here. He's working on a fiberglass shower liner. It's actually for my RV.
Wait, don't admit that. This is a new prototype.
No,
for
but you can't
sailboat.
have. I would never use this kind of wood in a boat.
Okay, yes.
In an RV, it's okay, but that's a good thing to kind of talk about because
It
we
is.
would never use that type of material in a boat. It's just totally wrong.
Right.
This would, when it gets wet, it will swell and do everything that you wouldn't want in a boat. It's kind of a good reference.
You
But
don't plan on taking your RV into the water?
no, I hope
Yeah,
not.
Good.
But Jose can paint, he can gel coat, he can make molds. Absolute craftsman, right?
Jack of all trades.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nice to meet
All
you.
right. Yeah, this is Ismail here. What's Ismail building today?
Mold.
Mold? Oh, okay. So Ismail is one of the fiberglass pros here. This is Amanda doing a quick tour. So he's got a plug underneath this that's the positive shape. And then you've made a layer of glass on it. And so now what's the next step?
We need to put in 2 more legs to the glass.
Yeah?
Yeah, after this we need to grind here, pop it, and it's ready for make a pot.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah. So those green molds did you use green gel coat?
This is the black top.
Black gel coat,
Yeah.
okay. How do you guys pick black or green?
Green is more better for us.
Do you like green?
Yeah.
Okay.
So black is okay.
It's okay too. Okay, good. All right. Thanks, Ismail.
No problem.
All right. Amanda, this is Pancho. Pancho does lots of things for us, so you're doing mostly gel coat. He always is the guy that gets that beautiful gel coat on. And then what else are you using? What's your number 2 thing?
Lamination.
Lamination. Okay. And you're working on the deck up here today too?
Yeah.
What's going on up there?
It's done.
It's done. I like that. Okay. When does it pop?
What?
Okay. Good. Yeah, no, Pancho's been with us for, what, 5 years? 5 years, another craftsman, just loves fiberglass, and
Do a
very,
great
very
job.
talented.
Yeah.
What's up, Bob?
So, Johnny and Ro, this is Amanda. We're doing a tour. She's up from Fort Lauderdale, yacht broker there, kind of wanted to see the factory, and kind of what we do. Yeah, it's good. Ro and Johnny do basically an awful lot of the whole work. So they've got the stiffening going on in here. What are you doing today?
Oh, I'm gonna finish up that bow thrusting tube, but hopefully we can blow it down and start putting some bottom tube, fixing the seams and bottom thing.
Oh, great. So you're close. You're only like
We're real
2 or 3
close.
days to get done.
Yeah, we're right there.
That's great. It looks beautiful, guys.
Not all,
See all these PVC tubes we saw on the other side?
Yeah.
They put all this in here. And this is a C100, a diesel import, so the engine actually mounts right in here on this one. It looks really good, guys.
Really nice.
Not all,
Thank you.
Not all. Thank you.
Okay, Amanda, I just wanted to do a wrap up here. I'm in a C120. This is our 40-footer. And I guess the overall impression I'm trying to leave you with is that Aspens are not average in any way. Every single component in Aspen is just as good as it can get, from the gel coat that we buy, the Armor Coat gel coat, it's made in the Midwest, to the resins from California, to wire harnesses from Michigan, to electrical components from Bellingham, Washington, to air conditioning units from Florida, and windmill systems from Diamond Sea Glaze up in Coquitlam, BC, and stainless rails from Vernon, BC. So our components, the pieces that make up your boat in an Aspen are simply the best that money can buy. The goal being something that lasts forever, or at least 100 years, every place we can, and you know, really a special boat. But come see us, come take a tour of an Aspen in the factory for yourself. All right, thanks, Amanda, thanks for visiting.